I'm sure everybody in this room knows someone or maybe themselves smoke cigarettes. And I know we just heard one of these, but try and bear with me. But what you may not have known is that smoke-related diseases claim an estimated 430,700 American lives each year. According to the American Lung Association, it is directly responsible for 80% of lung cancer cases and causes most cases of emphysema and chronic bronchitis. When you smoke, nicotine takes about 10 to 20 seconds to reach the brain. This causes a chemical called dopamine to be released in the brain. Dopamine provides a feeling of pleasure. Over time, smoking may become an addiction. This is why I am going to describe the most commonly used smoking cessations. Smoking cessation means like to quit smoking or withdrawal from nicotine. First, I would like to give you information about nicotine replacement products in general. Nicotine replacement products provide a small amount of nicotine that will help relieve many of the withdrawal symptoms that a smoker may feel when quitting. Common signs of withdrawal symptoms are the urge to smoke, being in a depressed mood, insomnia, irritability, anger, and restlessness. The goal is to be free in about 3 to 6 months. You must quit smoking completely before you use any of these nicotine replacements. You should not smoke while using these, because then you might get really bad side effects, such as nausea, vomiting, headaches, dizziness, stomach pains, and chest pains. Alright, the first smoking cessation product I will talk to you about is the nicotine patch. Sorry, the picture's kind of small.
Push it out.
Okay, the nicotine patch is probably the most common smoking cessation product seen. The patch is applied to your skin, usually on the upper part of the body. Over a prolonged period of time, the nicotine dissolves right through the skin and enters the body. The patch has different strengths of nicotine in them, and nicotine patches are changed about once every 24 hours. However, there are some brands that remove the nicotine patch at night just to give your body a rest from all the nicotine in your body. And then the second smoking cessation I will talk about is the nicotine gum. Okay. This is another very common product that it is a drug in gum form, and it releases small amounts of nicotine, which is absorbed into the body through the mucous membranes of the mouth. You only use one piece of gum at a time, and most smokers chew about 10 to 15 pieces of gum a day. However, you are allowed to have up to 30 pieces, depending on how many you need to feel comfortable without cigarettes. The third smoking cessation I will talk about is the inhaler. The inhaler delivers nicotine into the mouth, which produces a sensation in the back of the throat, similar to the produced by tobacco smoke, like a regular cigarette. This provides nicotine at a lower level than cigarettes, and they do not contain any of the cancer-causing tars and toxins found in tobacco products. When a smoker puffs on the mouthpiece, the inhaled air becomes saturated with nicotine, which is absorbed through the mucous membranes of the mouth, like the nicotine gum. The dosage is flexible and can be individualized according to your personal withdrawal symptoms. The inhaler consists of a mouthpiece right here, and then there's these different little cartridges that you fill up with it, and yeah, it's all right there. The next smoking cessation is the non-nicotine pill. It's just like a little pill form, but this is more of like a diagram that I'll talk about in a sec. The pill is Zyban, which is a trademark of Bupropion, Bupropion is an antidepressant that acts as a dopamine blocker. The pill is different from most other quit smoking products. It targets the nicotine receptors in the brain, attaches to them, and blocks the nicotine from reaching them. So, in this picture right here, these are like the receptors of the nicotine, and then that's, they can like get through, and then when you take Zyban right here, it like blocks it so you can see like the receptors out, so like they're not getting in. The last smoking cessation that I will talk about is the electronic cigarette. It's probably one that you guys are kind of unfamiliar with, but the electronic cigarette, also known as the e-cig, has a battery, an atomizer, which is a heating element, and a cartridge filled with liquid nicotine. Upon inhalation, a device is switched on, which sends a signal to a heating element inside of the atomizer. The e-cig atomizer heats up quickly and it vaporizes the liquid nicotine into a fine water-based mist that replicates the look and feel of smoke. And this is like the whole kit. This is just a certain brand of it. There's a lot. They range from like, they could be really inexpensive or expensive, $20 up to $100. And I actually have one with me. This is just the liquid nicotine's in right here, and then the little atomizer, the heating products are here, and it's vapors and not smoke. So like, let me make sure it works. It wasn't working earlier. Yeah, it usually works a little better, but that's the main basic of it. So today I've talked about the 5 commonly used smoking cessations. So if you or a friend ever have the will and want to quit smoking, there are several ways to kick the habit and help keep your body a little healthier.
All right, Melody, what did you think?
I think he started off really great with the facts, that maybe he needed to cite some sources. The thesis is pretty clear to me. It was easy to follow and was predictable as he went through each cessation and explained each one. The visuals were good, some of them. Some of them were too small, but I'm glad he brought that cigarette in physically. And overall, I think it was pretty good.
Right, it's interesting that it's paired with the preceding speech. I think good thing we had it in that particular pattern also. The phrasing on your thesis is a little bit awkward, and you keep using the term cessation, and I think cessation is a verb, not a noun, and it's being nominalized here. I think maybe you should use it as an adjective. These are cessation techniques, for instance, instead of calling it the next cessation. It really sounds like something is missing from the sentence when you say it that way. I thought you had a good subject. There's not really a preview of what the structure is going to be, but internally we've got a very clear organization because it's just topical about the different techniques that are being used. The signposts are usually clear, although they're sometimes a bit abrupt. There's not any citation of material internally. I know that you got the information someplace, but I couldn't tell you where you got it from because you don't really tell us. The visual materials, I think, are handled pretty well. You use them as transitions between the main ideas. They describe the cessation technique that you're dealing with at that point. A couple of them also attempt to explain how those techniques work, and I thought that those worked pretty well. Everybody's interested in the object at the end, so that adds a little bit of color and interest into the speech. You needed a little bit more interest here and there, maybe some anecdotes or stories about people and their success or failure with the different techniques. would add a little bit to the presentation. It's a little dry in the presentation because you're kind of going through the motions, and I think you need to be a bit more involved, but that's something that we're going to work on, so I wouldn't be panicky about that right now. All right, thank you.